my kitchen. It is Luann Pygott, and I am making something that I actually think I've made this one time, years ago, many years ago. I haven't made it again, and I don't know why, because it is really good. So I am going to make a recipe called chocolate zucchini bread. Now maybe you've had zucchini bread before, but have you had chocolate zucchini bread? It is really yummy. All right, so I'm going to start with a zucchini over here. So I'm going to take my zucchini, and I need, now this recipe that I have makes 4 loaves, like 4 pans like this. It makes 4 loaves of zucchini bread, but I want 1. So I'm going to cut this into quarters for the amount. So this, what I'm going to tell you, will make 1 loaf of zucchini bread. So if you want to quadruple this or double this, you can have more, but this is going to be 1. So I need a cup of shredded zucchini. So shredded raw zucchini. So I'm going to take the zucchini and I'm going to put it in little pieces like this, and I'm going to shred it in my food processor. Now if you have a hand shredder and you want to do it by hand, you go for it. But this is a lot faster and easier for me. Okay, here we go. Turn it on. Thought I was turning it on. Okay, since I need a cup, let's see if that gave me a cup. Now I was using my shredding blade, you know, like the grater blade. Let's see if that gave me a cup. Okay, so there it is, a zucchini. So let's get my cup here. Here's my cup. Slip right out of my hand. My hand's slippery from this zucchini. Okay, let's put that in there and see. So that was kind of like 1 medium zucchini. That's like perfect. Look at that. Okay, so that's the size, that's the amount of zucchini that I want right there. So there's my zucchini. Okay, so now this recipe, I will tell you, this recipe takes a lot of bowls because you have to mix everything separate the way it tells you to do it. Okay, so first, let me get all of this out of the way. And I don't want that in there either. So it tells you to mix your dry ingredients together. Okay, so the dry ingredients are 1 1/4 cups of flour. So let me get my flour. And I'm going to do 1 1/4 cups. Let's see, what do I have over here? Nothing that I can use. Hold on. I gotta get my measuring cups. Okay, here's a. All right, here we go. Here's a third. It's a 1/3 cup measure, so I just gotta do it 3 times. So I'm gonna put this in that bowl. So 1 1/3, or 1 1/4 rather. 1 1/4 cups of flour. This is all-purpose flour. There's 1 cup. There's my 1/4 cup. Right there. So there's 1 1/4 cups of flour. Then it needs a 1/4 cup of cocoa. Here's my cocoa. And we'll do a 1/4 cup of cocoa. There's a 1/4 cup of cocoa. This is going to be real chocolatey. It's so good. And then we're going to do 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, 1. And a 1/4. Baking powder. 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. 3/4. 1, 2, 3. 3/4 of baking soda. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So even this one has cinnamon. If you've ever had regular zucchini bread, it kind of has a cinnamony taste. Let me fix that where you can see it. Oh, let me see what you're saying. It's two words you've never used together. What, chocolate and zucchini? I bet it's not. It's good. So the zucchini doesn't add any flavor. It really just makes it moist. All right, so then we're going to do half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So regular zucchini bread really tastes cinnamony. And this has cinnamon in it, but you won't notice it as much because it's going to be so much chocolate. Okay, so there we go. There's our dry ingredients. Now we will mix our dry ingredients together. So let me find, oh, here we go, a little whisk. We're going to mix all those together. I have some little pieces of zucchini just hanging out over here. Then we're going to cream our butter and sugar. So you're going to take 6 tablespoons of softened butter and a cup of sugar. Okay, so there's my dry ingredients ready to go. So let's go over here to this bowl. We're going to get the softened butter. I over softened it a little bit, kind of a little bit melted, but just a little. Don't think it's going to hurt it. Let's hope not. Okay, there we go. And then a cup of sugar. That's a third cup. 2/3 cup. And a cup. There's a cup of sugar. So then let's blend those together. Oh, I think I still saw paper. I did. Yeah, there's paper. Just a second. That won't taste very good. Like, why do I see letters? There's letters in there. Yeah, there you go. Okay, there we have our butter and sugar mix. Okay, so then it tells you, so I have our dry ingredients over here. Then it tells you to mix the wet ingredients together, and then you're going to like add them alternately in here. So I'm going to take, now this actually, because I've cut this down, it takes an egg and a half. And the way you do an egg and a half, do you know how to do an egg and a half? You know, it's really not that hard at all. That, I may not need that bowl. I'm going to use this bowl. So I'm going to take 1 egg. And then the way you do half an egg, have you ever done it before? Does it sound hard? It's not hard. Okay, so all you do is take a separate little bowl and you put an egg in it. And I suppose you could go ahead and put the whole egg in. I'm not real sure. But I'm going to go. It's because I'm not making, if you were making 2 loaves, you would need 3 eggs. So I have to cut one of them in half. So you take it and you stir it. You make it a scrambled egg. And then you take your pan and you pour half of it in. It doesn't have to be that exact. Just like, you know. Okay, there's half. There you go. Half an egg. Much easier than you thought, huh? Like I say, it doesn't have to be that exact. There you go. Now, let's take and mix the other one in with it. That's an egg and a half. Then I'm going to use a teaspoon of vanilla. Teaspoon of vanilla. 1 cup of zucchini and 1/4 cup of milk. Okay, so let's put our milk in there. my quarter cup thing washed here. Now I got flour stuck in here. It doesn't want to let go. It got damp. All right, come on. Clean up. There we go. Okay, so here's a quarter cup of milk. This is just regular milk. So we're putting all our liquids together here. Okay, there's that. And then it says to add the cup of zucchini, because the zucchini is wet, which is going to look really crazy in there. You know what? I think I'm just going to add it with, I'm not going to actually mix it in that. This is going to be messy. So, the other thing I'm going to do is it tells you to put the chocolate chips in the wet. And I'm not going to put chocolate chips in the wet, because really you should put chocolate chips in flour, because it keeps them from sinking to the bottom. So we're going to put the chocolate chips in with the dry. We're just kind of doing this my way. So you're going to need a half a cup of chocolate chips. And that, let's see, do I have my half a cup measurer? I don't. Where are you? Alright, so we'll use the glass one. Half a cup. These are Ghirardelli 60% sweet ones. There you go. So I'm mixing them in the flour, because if they get coated in flour, they're less likely to sink to the bottom. So we'll just stir those around, get them coated with the flour and the other dry ingredients here. So there you go. Then it says you're going to add it alternately to the butter and sugar, starting and ending with the dry. So let's put a little dry in there, like a third of it. Don't measure, just guess. Mix that in. Then you're going to do half the wet, so I'm going to do like half the zucchini. Yes, it's going to be fine. It will not taste like zucchini. It just adds a good moisture. Then half of this other, here, let me see what I'm doing. There you go. Half of the egg and milk and vanilla mixture. Mix that in. It's going to look crazy though. It was extra protein. Yes, just extra. Extra protein with words. Okay, so then we're going to add another third of our dry. Mix that in. Okay, then the rest of the wet. Got some butter sitting up here too. Get down in there, butter. There we go. The rest of the wet. Put that all in there. Oh, and the rest of the zucchini. And zucchini has a lot of moisture in it. That's why this bread will not be dry. And then the rest of your dry ingredients with the chips. Oops, I'm about to make a mess. What's it say? You want to bake something. Yes, go bake something. Make chocolate zucchini bread. Oh look, doesn't it look just like chocolate batter? It's like chocolate, it's chocolate zucchini bread. So it's good for you, it's a vegetable. Alright, so I didn't use that bowl. Let's put that up. Okay, so here's my loaf pan over here. So we're going to spray our loaf pan, or you can grease it by hand, however you want to grease it. You want a greased pan. And then we're going to put that in there, and you're going to bake it at 350 for 50 to 60 minutes. So it takes about an hour. All right, let me get it out of here. Get all all the batter off of the beater. What really makes this good are the chocolate chips. So if you've had zucchini bread, I imagine most people, at least most people in America, probably had zucchini bread, but if you've never had chocolate zucchini bread, those are really good. Okay. Let me get a scraper over here. If I can find it. There's one. See, it makes a real thick batter. Scrape it in there. Oh, yummy. Chocolate zucchini bread. I'm making a mess. Get it on the counter. It's kind of like carrot cake, only instead of carrots, use the zucchini. There. Now tomorrow, after this is nice and cool, I'm going to add a chocolate glaze to it. Now you don't have to. The recipe doesn't actually tell you to do that. You can eat it just like this, cooked, you know. You don't need a topping on it, but I think I'm going to because it'll make it even chocolatier. And that could only be better, right? So there we go. There is our batter. I'm going to put that in the oven, set my timer, and we're going to be all set. So we'll try the shortest time, which is 50 minutes, and then we'll check it. And I will put this recipe in the comments. 50 minutes. There we go. And there we are. So that is what I'm doing for tomorrow. My little cooking session. So I hope you enjoyed that and give that one a try because I've already tried this one before and I know this one's good. It is yummy. So give it a try. And you have a good evening and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.